One of the most expensive mistakes I see dev marketers make is not thinking about the experience post the ad click. If your page doesn't even load for maybe 1 second, the devs will basically leave. The hardest thing about developer marketing is understanding how to resonate with them in a way that they will feel heard and not pitched to. They tend to be skeptical by default. So understanding what is going to really resonate with them and trying out different things until you find that one thing that hits home with them. Providing something that actually adds value, like what does this do for me, is the question you should be thinking about. Being very technical and providing something they can actually go and sink their teeth into and actually learn something, or playing into their humor and going dev meme and making them have a little laugh and earn their attention to actually check out what you really do. It's not about showing what the product is, but showing about what your brand culture is and what you're about. And ultimately letting them understand very quickly, what is it that you're doing? What is it that you're offering them? Earning their trust, getting them to understand what the culture is, thinking you're cool as a brand. I think that's most of the job done. I think it's important because everyone by default tends to be very traditional and very commercial, thinking about just getting sales and getting product adoption. And there are those few rare companies that spend so much time, I think inherently their culture is the dev culture. And the authenticity matters. We have people using quite default copy. That authenticity really hits home with them. So it's very hard. It's not something you can manufacture. It has to be inherent to the product and brand, and they will sniff out when it's not authentic. Developers are inherently builders and makers. So they will want to tinker with something before putting money behind it. Where we are right now, I think they're spoiled for choice in terms of the number of tools and platforms and options. So earning their trust to actually try something and pay for it is a steep hill. Once they're over that hill, they'll be at the top of it shouting from the rooftops to everyone they know about this cool product, this cool tool that they're using. So once you're there, I think that's golden, but getting them there is an uphill climb. Using an analogy, it's like providing them the equipment, the guide, a fun tour up that path in a way that they'll essentially forget that steep climb. Most marketing and consumer marketing is aimed at creating an emotion and a feeling and, oh yeah, this really, I understand why this speaks to me. I think for developers, they just want to know what it does, or you want to make them laugh or smile and check it out. It's about understanding how am I going to very quickly get them to this place where they have an aha moment of like, I get what this does, I want to check it out. Simon Sinek's Start With Why is great for consumer branding and consumer marketing. When it comes to developer marketing, it's almost the anti-marketing angle to go with Start With Why, because they sniff it out as a commercial pitch rather than a cool product to check out. They just don't like being pitched to. They don't like traditional advertising forms. They think in a different way, and they're thinking very practically and logically, and perhaps less emotionally when it comes to considering what to include in their stack. The type of marketing that would fall flat with developers is anything that's enterprise type messaging, typical commercial language, things that tend to promise too much. Developers like practical bite size, I want to go and play around and try it for myself and see the results within a matter of minutes. If you lead with the benefit and value very quickly and they can see that, then you're onto a winner. My number one piece of advice for developer marketing and marketers is to go wild with your ideas of what you're going to try. One of our best ever creatives was a company that basically thought, what can we do that's really out there? And they came up with an idea where they made an image of a Godzilla monster with red lasers shooting out of its eyes, hitting their company logo. And that got one of the best performance metrics we've seen on the platform. So one of the most expensive mistakes that I see dev marketers make is not really thinking about what do they actually care about, what are they probably going to want to see, what really matters to them, and coming at it more of what do we need to flog, what do we need to tell from our side, what do we need to mention without thinking about their end audience. The most expensive mistake that dev marketers make when they put campaigns together is not thinking about the whole user journey, the whole feel. So how quick the page loads when they click their ad. That's one aspect. Then there's the design of the page, how the messaging feels. Developers tend to really respect their craft. So if they get a feeling that you don't as a company or as a marketer, that will immediately make them tune out. So attribution can be a bit of a pain in developer marketing for a couple of reasons. One of them is ad blockers, which will affect what you see on your end. Developers love ad blockers because they really care about how they're putting their attention in. They have a lot of awareness about it, and they know that people are trying to grab it at any opportunity. They're inherently quite private and want people to respect their attention. So the goal really for attribution can be thought as, how do I get on their consideration set? How do I get their awareness so that when the time comes when they actually want to utilize that product, that will be top of mind for them. AI hasn't just changed the game for dev marketing, it's changed the game for everything. Because of that, and the fact that people are using it essentially across the board in every aspect of their workflow, developers can really sniff that out when everything starts to look the same. This is where authenticity really matters. If you really think about what is it that we want to say and how do we want to say it, they're going to respect that and really tune in to what you're saying, because it will stand out more than all the other messaging that seems to look the same. When it comes to how do you be more authentic, there's no easy answer. It has to be in the company culture. It needs to be in the team's culture of how do we want our voice to be received by our audience. It's nothing you can manufacture, so it has to be inherently there. Probably a good exercise is go on ChatGPT, ask for the top 100 headlines for your product, and make sure you absolutely never use them. If I was launching a new tool today, if I think about how that compares to say 5 years ago, the real difference right now is having a really good idea of which channels I'm going to pick. You can't go spray and pray anymore. Having that discipline to understand what works for each channel, work with your channel partners, and find places that devs actually hang out, that would be the best advice I can give for a new tool today.